All right, before we get Tom Coughlin at 3, here is the essence, just so you know. Here's what Collins wrote on SI. He says, this is Jason Collins. I'm 34-year-old NBA center. I'm black and I'm gay. I didn't set out to be the first openly gay athlete in playing for a major American sport. But since I am, I'm happy to start the conversation. I wish I wasn't the kid in the classroom raising his hand, saying I'm different. My journey of self-discovery and self-acknowledgement began in my hometown of Los Angeles, and it has taken me through 2 state high school championships, the NCAA Final Four, the Elite 8 and 9 playoffs in 12 NBA seasons. I've played for 6 teams. I've appeared in 2 NBA Finals. He's played on all the different teams, blah, blah, blah. Here's the essence. Why am I coming out now? Well, I started thinking about it in 2011 during the NBA player lockout. I'm a creature of routine. When the regular season ends, I immediately dedicate myself to getting my game ready for the opener of the next campaign in the fall. But the lockout wreaked havoc on my habits and forced me to confront who I really am and what I really want. With the season delayed, I trained and worked out, but I lacked the distraction that basketball had always provided. The first relative I came out to was my Aunt Terry, a Superior Court judge in San Francisco. Her reaction was, I've known this for years. From that moment on, I was more comfortable in my own skin. In her presence, I ignored my censor button for the first time. She gave me support. The relief I felt was sweet release. Okay. When I was younger, I dated women. I even got engaged. I thought I had to live a certain way. I thought I needed to marry and raise kids. I kept telling myself the sky was red, but I always knew it was blue. I realized I needed to go public when Joe Kennedy, my old roommate at Stanford and now a Massachusetts congressman, told me that he had just marched in the Boston 2012 Gay Pride Parade. I'm seldom jealous of others, but hearing what Joe had done filled me with envy. I was proud of him for participating, but angry that as a closeted gay man, I couldn't even cheer my straight friend as a spectator. If I'd been questioned, I would have concocted half-truths. What a shame to live a lie. I want to do the right thing and not hide anymore. I want to march for tolerance, acceptance, and understanding. All right? So Jason Collins, 34, who has played on 6 different NBA teams, center, obviously from Stanford, you probably remember Jason Collins. Jason Collins is not a bad player. He's a workmanlike player. And he has now, or will in this issue of SI this week, SI.com has come out as being the first American team sport active athlete who has admitted to being openly gay. What will that mean for the NBA? I'm sure the NBA has put out a statement. Let me see it. Give me Stern's statement. I'm sure it is a smart one. Stern's a smart man, so his statement's going to be a smart one, whatever it is. So bring it in when you get a chance, okay? So, like I said, I'm not, to me, this doesn't mean shockwaves. Is it going to get a lot of attention? It is. It's going to bring open discussions about, will player, there's this feeling, I think, that if it's going to make straight players in the locker room uncomfortable, and I don't know if that's true, because the idea that, it's not like because the guy's a homosexual, it means that he is going to make advances towards a teammate. It doesn't mean that at all. I mean, that's one doesn't take you from A to B. So, I mean, does it make the players in the room uncomfortable? I guess you'd have to ask the players in the room. Here's the commissioner. As Adam Silver and I said to Jason, we have known the Collins family since Jason and Jaron would join the NBA in 2001. They have been exemplary members of the NBA family. Jason has been a widely respected player and teammate throughout his career. We are proud he has assumed the leadership mantle on this very important issue. What else would you expect from Dave Stern? I mean, that's what he's going to say. That's what any commissioner is going to say. I mean, that's just, it's an enlightened approach. Is everybody going to like this? No. Was it necessary? I think that's going to be one of the questions. Was it necessary? Was it better kept unsaid? That's probably going to be a lot of people's response. And there's going to be some players, there already have been some players, Mike Wallace, who already had his tweets struck down, who said, how is that possible with all the pretty girls around, or something like that, which is just going to get him in trouble. So, you're going to get that kind of stuff. You're going to get some players who generally along religious, especially, it's been let me put it this way. This has been discussed many times among league officials, among people in sports, and it's always been considered that the NFL room would be the hardest of the four rooms from the standpoint that there's some guys in there who are more guys in there. I don't know if it's true or not, because I don't know if I ever did a count on this, that there's more kind of Bible toters in the NBA, in the NFL, than there are in the other sports, who are going to find this offensive from a religious standpoint. Now, I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know if there are more in the NBA. More outwardly religious people in the NFL than in the other sports. I don't know that. Never did a survey. I don't know, but that's been a prevailing thought, that it would cause more trouble in that sport than the other sports. From that standpoint, from a acceptance based on offense that would be taken from a religious point of view. So, again, open to interpretation. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not true. You'll have to wait for each sport to respond. I would think, I was going to say, which of the four sports do you think is the most culturally open or accepting of everything? Would it be the NBA? I don't know. I haven't really thought about it. I would think, I think it probably would be the NBA. Where other things, the players, now, it's a league that has obviously a very, very high level of black Americans in it. So I don't know how that plays into it. It's become a very open league as far as, so is baseball in terms of, and so is the hockey, I guess all three except football, because football's all game, but the other sports all have a lot of international players. And, most of the world, when it comes to sexual matters, is considered to be, except in areas where there are countries that are not open to freedom of expression. I'm talking about like Europe and places like that. We are considered to be a little behind the times when it comes to sexual mores and stuff like that. And cultural mores, we're considered to be a little less accepting than some of the European countries are, let's say. I'm not talking about countries where, they're very backward in many ways about stuff. I'm talking about, countries, Western countries that are free and stuff like that. We're always considered to be a little bit behind in that regard. So less accepting, a little more rigid. So I really think it depends on the beholder. And again, to me, not that big a deal. Like I said, we're going to talk to Tom Coughlin, not about that.